Hey there, South Plains. Amanda McAfee with Lubbock Area United Way. Today I am joined by Melissa Corley, who actually used to work for United Way several years ago and is now the director for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lubbock. And they do fantastic mentoring work where they work with kids from all backgrounds, all ages, who just need some support from another adult in their lives for whatever reasons, many reasons that they end up in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with that because it's a national program. But we're very excited to have Melissa here with us today to talk about how mentoring has continued through everything that we've been going through for the last couple months. So, hey, Melissa, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. We're so glad to have you here today, Melissa. Hey, Melissa, let's just dive on in, and why don't you tell us what the last couple of months have looked like for you and your team and all your volunteers?
Well, things have certainly looked a lot different than we're normally used to, but we're making it work. Thankfully, we've increased our communication with everyone, and once we noticed that something big was happening and there was no way we were going to be able to navigate through it, we decided to put some plans into place. And so we started communicating, and that was one of the big things that has changed, is that our communication has been amped up over the last few weeks, or several weeks actually, just talking to our kids, talking to our parents, making sure that they know we're a resource to them.
That's fantastic. I know I've seen you guys communicating a whole lot on social media and other places and really still trying to make sure that your matches are connected. And just to throw out a couple of terminology, just for folks who may not be as familiar with your program. So a match is when we're talking about a mentoring match between a big brother or big sister, which is an adult, and sometimes we call them bigs, or the kiddo that we call littles. So you guys have that terminology as we're going through this conversation. So how have your bigs and your littles been staying in communication and continuing to mentor and continue to doing the good work that they've been doing?
So one word they're probably all tired of us saying is meet virtually, meet virtually. And so we've asked them to meet by phone calls, by apps, by just different means, even just writing a letter to each other and working on handwriting, because sometimes we don't get a chance to do that very much. So we just wanted to be sure that they stayed in contact no matter what. And we said, this is going to look different, and you're not going to be able to hang out at the park and go out to your favorite restaurant to have your favorite meal, or go grab a dessert or grab a movie. This is going to be different, and it's going to be difficult, but we're going to be here with you every step of the way. And most people really just jumped up on the chance to be creative. We've given them a lot of ideas on how to stay in touch with each other. Like I said, we told them, go ahead and write letters to each other, talk on the phone, do all those things that you probably do on a normal basis, but this time you're going to be doing it a lot more. So they've really had a chance to be creative and get to work with one another. They play games online, which is really cool. We've been seeing that. We've been noticing that our bigs were just dropping random stuff at porches, and so the littles would get really excited about that. Just different ways just to stay connected. That was our main message, was this is going to be different, but stay connected with each other no matter what.
That's great. I was actually thinking the other day, I feel like Ding Dong Ditch has taken on a new thing in the time of COVID, that we've had some of my daughter's friends, and my daughter's done that for a few friends, and other things of just like, I'm going to drop this random nice thing on your porch instead of other things that we might have dropped before the time of COVID.
One story that comes to mind is a big sister dropped off a birthday present for her little sister, and little sister was so excited, and then about a week later she dropped off a basket of fun things for her to do, and it just included simple things like a coloring book and some writing markers and things like that. But it was those things that just made sure that our little knew that she was being thought of about and was still a part of a big sister's life, no matter if they were in person or not. So it was really nice.
So Melissa, what that comes to mind as I'm thinking about it, and we've talked some about, we have all been really focused on kids' education for the last several months, and making sure that kids have access to be able to access all of their online learning and be able to connect to that world and continue and hopefully not be behind, though I have a feeling we're all going to be behind. Every one of us is going to be behind, even the adults, when we get back in August. But one of the things that my focus has been shifting on, and our focus here at United Way has been shifting on, and I think the same is true for y'all, is kids' mental health. That online learning has been really difficult, and being away from friends. I mean, this is the time of their life when they're learning their social identity, and now we can't connect with our friends, and we're learning, from the little ones, the basics of how to share and socialize with other people in general, to the big ones of who am I in the group. And that is somewhat what y'all's program focuses on, to an extent, in that mentoring matters to kids' mental health, and it matters in a whole lot of other ways. So talk to us a little bit about, because it would have been easier for you guys to just say, hey, y'all don't worry about it. When this time is over, then you can reconnect with your littles and we'll resume things as progress. But y'all really made an emphasis of, we're going to keep doing things. We're going to keep connecting with our littles. We're going to keep mentoring. Why does that matter?
Just exactly what you said. Their mental health has to be a priority to us at all times, no matter what it is that we're doing. And so we knew, with schools closing and that social aspect being gone, that their bigs were so much more important to them right at this time. And so, yes, their mental health is a top priority to us. We know that some of our kids could go into depression if they didn't already have it. If they did, it could get even worse. We know that they just have a lot of inconsistencies sometimes. And this was our chance to really show that we're consistent, we're here, we're a part of your life. Being in our program requires a 1-year minimum. And a lot of people say, well, that's a really long time sometimes to do a volunteer work. But that consistency is key. That helps a child know that somebody is there who really cares about them and who can really build this relationship with them. And so that mental health piece, just making sure that somebody cares about you, and it's somebody that's not already in your household. We know that parents care about their kids. We know that there's aunts and uncles and folks like that, but there's also teachers and coaches. And when they're not there, our bigs are there. We just know that it's important to them, and it's really important that they just stay in their life and they're consistent. And whether that looked like a virtual call or picking you up for playing at the park, it just still had to continue no matter what.
So good, Melissa, so good. And I want to just real quick say, I think a lot of people maybe have a certain kid in mind, or a certain group of kids in mind, when they think of kids that are enrolled in y'all's program. But there's some misconceptions about what a kid that is a little in Big Brothers Big Sisters look like. So talk a little bit about the type of kids you have, and how they really are all ranging different backgrounds.
So our littles are ages 6 to 18, and they can remain in our program until their 18th birthday or until they graduate. And I'm happy to say that a lot of them do continue through that period. Our littles come from very diverse backgrounds, and they don't come from any certain part of town or anything like that. What I feel is important is that people know that we're here for the kids who just need an extra adult in their life, somebody who they can count on. And sometimes that looks like kids who are being raised in single parent homes. Sometimes that looks like an older kid who just got a new sibling in their home. It just looks really different for all the children in our program. And so I don't like when they're put into a box, or they're put into this label of this kid has to fall into this category, because it's not like that. Our doors are open for all kids. As long as you feel that they need somebody and they're open to that, then our program is for them.
I think that's one of the things that's so great, is that y'all don't necessarily have kids have to be in this neighborhood, or who have income guidelines or anything. It's really any kid that needs the support of an extra adult in their life, for whatever reason, whatever is going in life. And as a parent, I mean, I recognize those sometimes. Sometimes I'm not the best person to connect with my teenager. Sometimes she needs a different person to connect with in her life. And that extra support that you guys provide, that your bigs provide, can really make a huge difference in a kid's life, that will last and impact them for the rest of their lives. I think we've heard so many stories of y'all's mentors who have stayed involved and been involved, and kids have come back many years later, really just having that moment, that relationship really impacted them and changed the course of their life, which is incredible.
Absolutely. The relationships that are built here are really lifelong. We have just had one of our littles who is about to graduate, or may have just graduated. She was matched with her big, and they were together 14 years. And I know that that's going to be a friendship that lasts really long, into just maybe forever, just into her adulthood and onward. It's going to be great. So it's nice seeing those relationships, how they expand over the years, and they just keep growing.
So Melissa, maybe somebody's hearing this and they're thinking, hey, I might be interested in that volunteer opportunity. Or they're a parent or a caregiver and thinking, hey, my kid might benefit from being enrolled in Big Brothers Big Sisters. What do they need to do?
So it's really great to get involved, and easy. So they should just go to our website at bbbslubbock.org. We have a tab there on our website where they can enroll to either be a mentee or a mentor. And so that's for our families and our potential bigs. And I'd ask them just to go to the website and just look through the information. And I also welcome them to call the office if they have any questions. But it's really easy to sign up, and I would encourage people to do so. Once they get signed up, it takes about maybe 24 hours before we get it in our system here, and within 48 hours or less, because we're really jumping on those, just to make sure that we grab everybody who's interested in the program. But somebody will reach out and be in contact with them and hopefully get them enrolled.
Fantastic, Melissa. Well, I really appreciate you coming and talking. I really appreciate your team and all the hard work I know that you guys have been doing, and also your volunteers, and hey, the littles too, because they've been working hard to connect with their bigs as well. So I just thank you guys so much for the great work that you guys are doing. We're doing before all of this happened and are continuing to do now.
Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you. I appreciate United Way, and just everything that's being done to keep our community intact and healthy.
Absolutely. Hey, South Plains, we're getting close to going through all of our 23 community partners, but we're committed. We're having conversations around the office that we want to keep having these kind of conversations, and whether that's with our partners or other community leaders, other things that are happening in the community, we're going to keep doing this. Probably not 2 a week, because we all have other things that we've got to get back on track on, but we're going to keep doing these and keep connecting with you guys and letting you know what's going on in our community. So thank you so much, South Plains, for all you're doing, and we'll talk to you soon.